Hey you, so super excited you are here today because I am going to show you how to knit the raspberry stitch. Now, is it called raspberry or raspberry? I'm not quite sure what the proper pronunciation is, but let me know in the comments what you think. But then again, this is not a pronunciation tutorial. This is a knitting tutorial. So we will go straight to our pattern. Now, I cannot emphasize enough how super simple this pattern is to make. But it's going to give you a beautiful finished look. So grab your knitting needles and grab your yarn and let's get to picking some berries. Okay, so here we have our raspberry stitch. And you can see up close how you have these beautiful little berries that just pop right out of your knitted garment. So the raspberry pattern is going to be worked in a series of 4 rows. And you're just going to repeat those 4 rows until you've reached your desired length. You want to cast on a multiple of 4 plus 2. So in my example here, I cast on 24 stitches for a multiple of 4 plus 2. So 24 plus 2 is 26. So I have a total of 26 stitches here. So here you can see I cast on a total of 26 stitches. Remember, my 24 was a multiple of 4 plus 2. So 26 stitches is what I cast on. So let's start off by working our first row, row 1, purl. So we will just purl the entire row. So now let's work row 2. And then what we're going to do for row 2 is going to be a little bit trickier. It's going to be a sequence of knit 1, purl 1, knit 1 into the same stitch, and then purl 3 together. So you can see that you're working 4 stitches. But now when you're working row 2, you want to make sure to knit the first stitch and then you knit the last stitch, always on row 2. So go ahead and begin by knitting your first stitch. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and work that sequence. So in this stitch, we're going to knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. So knit 1, purl 1, okay, and then knit 1. And there you go. We just knit 1, purl 1, knit 1 into that same stitch. And if you want more detailed instructions on how to do this, I will put a link to a video below that is a tutorial on exactly how to do that. So now after we've worked that, go ahead and purl 3 together. It might be a little tight, but you just have to work it through. And then go ahead and purl the 3 together. And just like that. And you will repeat that sequence all the way till you get to your very last stitch, and then you will knit this one. So let's do that again. So knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, all in the same stitch. Okay. Now purl 3 together. All right, so go ahead and keep working that sequence till you get to your very last stitch, and I'll see you there. And then remember, your last stitch is going to be knit. Okay, and that's what row 2 will look like of your pattern. Now let's go ahead and work row 3. And row 3 is going to be a purl all the way across. And you can already see those little raspberries are starting to form. You see those there? So go ahead and purl your row, which is row 3, all the way till you get to the end. And I will see you when we get there. I'm about at the end of my row right here, my row 3 of purl all the way across. So row 4 is going to be similar to row 2 that we did, where we are going to knit the first stitch and knit the last stitch. Now we're going to work that same pattern sequence, but instead of knitting 1, purling 1, knitting one in the same stitch to begin with, we're going to begin by purling 3 together, then knit 1, purl 1, knit 1 in the same stitch. So you can see how we offset it back and forth with every row. So let's go ahead and work row 4. So knit the first stitch. Now what we're going to do is purl 3 together. Okay. And now knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. Okay, so let's repeat that sequence. Purl 3 together. Now knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. All in the same stitch. Okay, so I'm working the last part of my sequence here. And after this, I have come to my very last stitch. Now I'm going to knit that one. Okay, so that is a sequence that we would work, and that completes one cycle of the berries. So if you look here, you can see that we're already creating those little berries. We've actually got a couple of rows. So rows 1 through 4 will actually create 2 offset rows of berries. So you just want to keep repeating those 4 rows until you get to your desired length. And I'm going to try to put the 4 rows down below in the description. I'll write it there for you so that you can actually see it written out, and maybe that'll help you a little bit more as well. Okay, so our berry picking time has come to an end. I hope you had a super fun time learning how to make these, and let me know in the comments what you ended up using the stitch for. And also, if you have any questions about that stitch where you knit, purl, and knit into the same stitch, I'm going to put a link to a tutorial below. So hopefully that helps you out. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Love ya. Bye.